this statement, care deeply, where did that one come from to be part of the Vision Refresh?
The word care has become really significant over the last year. If you remember at the start of the year, we were clapping for carers, and we're very aware of those who've offered care, particularly on our front line and in the NHS over the past year. So care is a really resonant word. And so this is an encouragement to care deeply as Christians for the communities in which we live. One of the verses that I've been thinking about is Jeremiah 29:7, where God says, "Seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile. Pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare." So that sense that as Christians, we live in the world, it's really obvious, isn't it, really? And that we're to care for those around us. We're to care for our communities. One of the phrases that we use in connection with this is listening. We will listen to our local communities and respond in loving service. So I think this is about God's church, listening to the places where it's set, all around Cumbria, in the different towns, villages, city that we are part of, and saying, well, what would welfare look like? What would it look like for the flourishing of all people here? And how do we join in with that as a church? So it's that level. It's also just the really basic level of caring for each other. And as we come out of lockdown, we are really going to need that. The mental health issues, the struggles that people have had, some of the effects of COVID, physically, mentally, emotionally, on everybody. We're going to need to be a caring people, and that's what this says.
And in the Bible, listening and caring are important things, aren't they? I mean, Jesus himself listened, and he did care.
He did. I mean, in a way that we can never hope to come close to emulating, really. He cared so much. He gave his life. He gave everything for us because he loved us. But even the verse that's set for today is actually Mothering Sunday. And the verse is Jesus caring from the cross. It's Jesus speaking from the cross and saying to his mother and his friend, woman, here is your son, here is your mother. You two need to care for each other after I'm gone. And I think that's the legacy that he leaves us. How do we care for each other? How do we become family for each other? Not just in our kind of mum, dad and 2.4 children families, but how do we care for those who live alone, those who are isolated? How do we become a church family, sisters and brothers in Christ, with God as our Father? And if we truly cared for each other as we care for our own families at their best, I mean, I know no family is easy, are they? Then we would be this kind of church that cares deeply.
And personally, for me, that scene from the cross, that passage you just mentioned, is probably one of the most emotional passages from the Bible, and it does speak a lot to us, doesn't it?
I can hardly read it without crying, actually. And I think there is something particularly on Mothering Sunday today, which is deeply moving about it, because, of course, the experiences of mothering are not always that easy. And Mothering Sunday is a difficult day for some. We have different relationships within our family. Some of them are great, some of them are quite tough. So I think just that sense of Jesus watching over that from the cross, Jesus seeing that, Jesus understanding, Jesus suffering alongside us is a really important one. And so that's what it means to care deeply, I think. It's not just, we skip along and we're full of sunshine and roses and daisies. We know that caring can be deep and caring can be quite costly, but it's what we're called to do.
Of course, Mothering Sunday 2021 is the anniversary of the start of the lockdown for us all, isn't it, from 2020? Because that happened around Mothering Sunday last year. So what's the thought and what's the prayer for people looking at this statement this week?
Well, I think this is just a chance to be quieter, maybe, to reflect. Possibly it's to think about our own relationships and to pray for our own family, friends, people that we know. I think it's maybe also a chance to just spend some time looking at our local communities and asking God to show us how can we care deeply within this community. So I don't know, I suggest maybe going within COVID restrictions, wherever they are at the time, go for a little walk around your local community, just spotting things, praying for things, asking God for that heart of compassion that he has for us.